Well, I'm surprised it took so long. Let's begin. Now, of course I could be wrong, but it just seems like ever since Rishi took over the Conservatives, they've been going on a ski slope down in the polls ever since. Month after month, it seems we hear stories come out saying that the Conservatives are going to lose, and to be honest with you, they've surely just got themselves to blame, especially after outcasting Suella Braverman and, of course, Lee Anderson most recently. But, of course, Nigel Farage has picked up on that situation and seems to have offered Suella a very interesting proposition. And that's because, according to this article, they say that Nigel Farage has made a bold move to try and persuade a high-profile Tory to defect with Rishi Sunak's Conservatives in turmoil. And the former Brexit Party and UKIP leader, and of course GB News presenter, has used his telephone platform to call on former Home Secretary Suella Braverman to quit and join Reform. And I think after the Tories, let's face it, are going to get a bit of a drubbing in the elections, I think many of their MPs will actually do that. Especially, of course, as it seems that Reform only do seem to be the real true Conservatives here. I mean, let's face it, at the moment, we've appeared to be taxed the highest we have for a very long time, and also they do seem to be copying Labour, it seems, rather than, of course, the Conservatives they should be. And it goes on and says it comes after Lee Anderson was, of course, controversially suspended from the party by Rishi Sunak for, of course, his remarks about the London Mayor Sadiq Khan. Now, I think personally everyone knows what Lee Anderson was saying. He wasn't, in my opinion, targeting everyone of that religion in general, probably just a few people for their actions. Although unfortunately obviously didn't make that clear enough for the woke lefties out there. But either way, of course, Labour MPs, according to this, have been demanding similar punishments from Ms Braverman, who raised the same concerns, which, to be honest, is quite a major concern in the cities. And after all, I mean, surely people do need to acknowledge that, don't they? Especially when, of course, this whole thing is going on in another country, and therefore surely it shouldn't mean that we should have our cities vandalised by people who are doing a protest about certain things. But anyway, that aside, speaking on GB News, Farage explained that he does not believe that the Tories will ever agree to withdraw the UK from the ECHR and warned Miss Braverman she should ask herself if she's in the right party. Well, to be honest with you, Nigel, I'm guessing if Reform probably throws a lot of money her way, she might, along with a lot of other MPs, might give it a certain amount of consideration. Now, obviously, that shouldn't be her consideration. She should actually want to do that. But either way, that's probably not going to hurt his chances of getting her, is it, eh? He said, let's be honest, there is no Conservative party. They stand up and pretend to be Conservatives occasionally, but always govern like Liberals. We are in Brexit Britain, a self-governing, self-determined nation? No, probably not. And he goes on and says you can say that Labour are worse than the Tories, and they probably are, but the Tories are just awful. They won't ever contemplate as a party leaving the ECHR, which we have to do because that is a true spirit of Brexit, and I personally agree with what he's saying there. I mean, it should surely be up to us if we support someone that they should be gone. We shouldn't be overruled by some sort of third party. It's our decision as a country, surely. And he also says that Labour introduced all of this concept in the Human Rights Act in 1998. Incidentally, something which Sherry Blair benefited from financially, and the Conservatives have done nothing to change it. Well, to be honest with you, I think it's absolutely disgraceful that Sherry Blair, the wife of a Prime Minister, should have benefited from it at all. It should surely have been reworked when the Conservatives took power, but unfortunately that didn't exactly happen, did it? He went on and says it's all well and good for Suella to come out now as a former Home Secretary to say we should do this. Maybe Suella should be asking herself whether she's in the right party. And Richard Tice runs Reform. I am merely an honorary president, he says. I am a non-executive. I have no fiduciary responsibilities, so it's not up to me. But would I like to see Suella join Reform? Of course I would. And the remarks come as a suspended Mr Anderson has not ruled out joining Reform as well. I could be wrong, but something tells me we'll see these two join Reform in the not-so-distant future. It just makes me wonder how long that would actually be. Although obviously, whilst they might not be the only Tory MPs to go over to the Reform, I can't see Jacob Rees-Mogg or Priti Patel even contemplating the idea. And of course, for Boris, I can't see him doing it either. Although something tells me we haven't actually seen the last of Boris, especially if Rishi does lose the next election, which obviously at the moment is looking more of a dead cert than a horse with one leg losing the race.